In today's astrology news, we discover that not every transit is relevant for every chart. Stay tuned for the forecast. First up on June 9th, we have Venus making the exact conjunction with the planet Jupiter, when I catch you Jupiter, in the sign of Cancer. This doesn't really make any aspects with anything in this chart, but it may make aspects with the stuff in your chart. You need to get your chart and put it over the top of the transiting chart to see if Jupiter is going to expand a mess for you this week. Jupiter's expansion, Venus is love, money, Cancer is family. I can't tell you what it's going to be, okay? You'd have to get your chart read. But if it makes any kind of exact degree, you need to look out, because whenever Jupiter is involved, look out. Also on that day, we have Mercury making the exact square with Saturn. Normally, like I said, I don't really care that much about Mercury. It is the ruling sign for the Sun in Gemini currently, so that makes this transit a little bit more relevant. And again, if you have planets close to here, conjunct the Sun in Gemini, this could be a relevant transit for you, but also it probably isn't. It probably isn't. Later that day, we also have the Sun in Gemini making the opposition with Lilith. Again, if you have exact degrees in this part of the chart, could be a thing. But with some of the stuff that moves so fast, it really matters more how it talks to your chart rather than the transiting chart. In my opinion, that's JMO. Same thing on the 12th as Venus makes the exact square with Chiron in the late degrees of Aries. If you have stuff here in the late degrees of Cancer, you need to be paying attention to how Venus is going through here and how Jupiter is activating things in your chart. This is ongoing. If you don't really have anything super relevant to these places, it may not matter as much. Also, Chiron moves slow and Jupiter's been here for a while, so whatever happens for you on June the 12th probably has already kind of been happening for a while. Then on the 13th, we have Venus. Very Venus-heavy forecast for us this week. Very, very lovey-dovey. Venus enters the sign of Leo. As it does that, it comes to be within orb of making an opposition with the Pluto here, as well as making a sextile with the Moon and the Uranus here, which is across signs, just like this loose conjunction between Jupiter and Venus. Let me come over here. You always want to look at where the Moon is at on transiting charts. The Moon activates things. So Uranus has been sitting here for a hot minute, but as the Moon comes through here and it's making this exact aspect with this, if you have stuff in the late degrees of Cancer, as well as coming into the early degrees of Leo, this whole getup could do something for you in terms of sudden changes with your money, sudden changes in your love, identity transformation, big time unexpected changes involving your family, your identity, your art, revolution. I can't be more specific than that because I don't know what's in your chart, Pookie. I just don't know. Kind of because astrology doesn't work like that. You have to look at what your stuff is over the top of this stuff. I was going to talk about the new moon on the 14th, but I think that I'm going to wait so that I have something to talk about next week. So keep an eye on Venus this week. Thanks for tuning in.